So here we are, another Monday in Singapore. I'd love to say it had been a great weekend of Premiership football, but hey, you know, that would just be a lie, wouldn't it? Let's kick off with Aston Villa. Aston Villa, what is the point? Anyway, moving on. The next thing I want to address is draws in football. We had a plethora of them this weekend, and let's be honest, who wants them? It's time we went down the American route. Let's get this sorted out. And we don't need this extra time and penalties. We know that that doesn't work anyway. The Germans always win, and you know, it's not to the liking of anyone. It's time to settle these things properly. Last night we had Watford versus Southampton, a game that, I mean, people wouldn't want to see in the first place, and then you have to sit through a turgid 0-0 draw. However, if you knew that at the end of that 90 minutes that you were going to see Ronald Koeman and Kike Flores don comedy boxing gloves in the centre circle for a fight to the death, they would be packing them out. You'd have a fresh crowd trying to come in just separately for that. So we are going to arbitrarily decide who won each of the games that were drawn this weekend. So starting off with Watford and Southampton, I think even though he's on crutches, Koeman's always looked a bit of a bruiser to me, so we're awarding that one to Southampton. The early kick-off, Manchester United against Newcastle, another miserable 0-0 draw. Just think of that. Louis van Gaal and Steve McLaren donning those gloves. Now I know Mad King Louis is cracking on for something, 64 years old now, but I fancy once he gets up a head of steam, I think he's taking no stopping. So much as it pains me, we're going to give that one to Manchester United as well. Now, Leicester Spurs was 1-1. This is a tricky one. Pochettino looks mean to me. I mean, he really looks like a solid unit. But Ranieri is going to be difficult to hit, I think. He's going to be ducking and weaving. I think he's going to have a few tricks up his sleeve. But ultimately, I think the power of Pochettino is going to win through. So we're going to give that one to Spurs. So sorry, Leicester, no points for you. Now, Norwich Stoke. Well, again, this is another tricky one. Alex Neil, Glaswegian accent. It's kind of going to put the wind up a few people. But Mark Hughes, I remember him on the pitch, and he looks just as mean on the touchline. So sorry, Norwich, no points for you. And Stoke, you're going home with your first 3 points of the season. Sunderland Swansea, Dick Advocaat, another Dutch manager, getting on a bit. Gary Monk still looks fit as a fiddle to me. He only gave up playing a couple of seasons ago. I reckon he'd still have it. So Swansea get the 3 points there. Now the league's other famous team in claret and blue, West Ham, finished last season with 47 points and a credible 12th place finish. And this was after basically scoring no points after Christmas. The manager, Sam Allardyce, had been undermined by the owners at West Ham. Everyone knew he was dead man walking, and that a new manager would be stepping in, that there would be investment to come. It was really an untenable situation. The West Ham fans clearly didn't like Sam Allardyce, maybe because he's a northerner, in the same way that the Newcastle fans didn't like Alan Pardew because he was a Cockney. But oh no, sorry, I forgot, West Ham fans. You didn't like Alan Pardew either. I was actually thinking that maybe I should become a West Ham fan on the basis that I can't stand everyone either. Sam Allardyce is a good manager. He's a progressive manager. He has good methods. He might not be to everyone's cup of tea, but his results are there for all to see. Slaven Bilic has spent a fortune this season, and they were ramshackle at home to Bournemouth, basically gifting them 3 goals. I mean, Jenkinson almost looked like he wanted to get sent off. If you look at West Ham's average position over the last 30 years, I'm guessing it's about 23rd. Yes, you're a championship club. You should know when you're well off. You should have kept Sam Allardyce, and this could be a long, hard season, West Ham fans. Now, we don't really like to be positive about anything here, let's be honest. But I would like to be positive about one player, and that is Diego Costa. Other fans can say what they like about this guy, but deep down they all know they would love to have this guy on their team. Just watching him yesterday, immense. I don't even think that Jose Mourinho trains him. I think he just keeps him in a dungeon with a chain around his neck, surrounded by pictures of central defenders, and then he just unleashes him like a rabid dog at the weekend. The man is fantastic. He is great to watch, and he's not a half bad player. Diego, we have a lot of time for you here. Now, just contradicting myself entirely, someone else we actually love here is Louis van Gaal. We love King Louis. We can't get enough of him. He's brilliant. But Louis, what have you done to Wayne Rooney? This weekend was only the second time in 21 games he's had more than one shot on goal in a game. And he hasn't scored a goal for Manchester United for 858 minutes. Now, you also got rid of Robin van Persie and Radamel Falcao. Okay, clearly, not a huge loss to United, but Rooney is your only real out-and-out striker that you have, that you trust. You better start hoping to get amongst the goals, or you need to go shopping, my friend. Come on, King Louis, you can do better than this. So there we have it, another dismal Premiership weekend. And what do we have left to look forward to tonight? Only the delights of Arsenal and Liverpool, two teams which have been a veritable study in mediocrity for the last 10 years. I just can't get enough of this.